Welcome to Book to Blueprint, where powerful books become practical blueprints for real life. You do not need more information, you need execution. This is Book to Blueprint. All right, let's dive into Keith Ferrazzi's classic, Never Eat Alone. But look, this isn't just another summary. We're actually turning it into a blueprint you can execute, a step by step guide to building a powerful network that gets you real results in the real world. So, why does this matter so much? Let's start with a single number that should really grab your attention: 56%. A landmark study found that's how many people find their jobs through personal contacts. I mean, think about that for a second. More than half of all career moves happen because of who you know. This means networking isn't just some soft skill, it's a non negotiable part of your career toolkit. So here's our game plan, our 6-part blueprint. We're going to start with the why, the huge advantage this gives you. Then we'll get into the core mindset, the absolute rules of the game, a practical action plan, the habits you need to build, and finally, the common traps you've got to avoid. Let's jump right in. First up, the core outcome. Let's be crystal clear about the prize here. If you actually follow this blueprint, what's the specific result you're going to achieve? This is the why that powers everything else we're about to talk about. This right here perfectly captures the end goal. Imagine building your career on sand. It's shaky, vulnerable to every little change in the economy. But with a strong network, now you're building on solid rock. It gives you stability and opens doors you didn't even know existed, especially when times get tough. That resilience, that is your ultimate career advantage. Next up, the big idea. And honestly, this is the single most important mental shift you have to make for any of this stuff to actually work. It's about totally reframing what you probably think networking is all about. This quote from Ferrazzi is basically the whole philosophy in a nutshell. A good networker will never ask, "How can others help me?" Instead, he will ask, "How can I help others?" Everything, and I mean everything, we're going to cover is built on this foundation of generosity. Your first impulse, always, should be to give value, not to try and get something. So, this is the mental flip you've got to make. You can stop seeing your network as this finite cake, where every favor you ask for makes the whole pie a little smaller. Instead, start seeing it as a muscle. The more you use it, the more you genuinely help and support people, the stronger it gets, for you and for everyone else you're connected to. Okay, so you've got the mindset down. Now let's get into the rules of connection. I want you to think of these as the operating system for your network. These are the core principles that have to guide every single action you take. These 5 principles all work together like a cycle. It starts with generosity, giving first. You do this proactively, building relationships before you need them. And that, of course, requires patience, because real connections don't happen overnight. You build them around shared interests, that relationship glue that makes it genuine. And finally, by doing all this, you become memorable. You stand out. See how they all feed into each other? Let's just double click on that second rule, because it is so critical. Build your network before you need it. It's like digging a well before you're thirsty. When you do that, when you build that bridge before you need to cross the chasm, asking for help down the road isn't some awkward, desperate transaction. It's just a natural conversation inside a real relationship. Okay, we've gone from the principles to the practice. This section is all about the how, a step-by-step implementation guide you can use to build your own networking action plan, like today. But before you can connect with the right people, you need a direction, a North Star. So the first and most important question you have to ask yourself is this: what is my blue flame? What is that unique thing that really drives me? Your blue flame is that magical spot where your passion, what you absolutely love doing, and your talent, what you're actually good at, collide. Now, why is this the essential first step? Because once you define it, everything else gets so much clearer. You'll know exactly who you need to connect with, what conversations you should be in, and what unique value only you can bring to the table. So once you've got your blue flame, you build your networking action plan, or NAP. It's a pretty straightforward 4-step process. First, you set your goals, long-term, short-term. Second, you identify the resources you'll need, the key people, places, you name it. Third, create some backup goals, just to stay flexible. And finally, you integrate this whole plan into your daily routine. That's how you turn a big, abstract mission into a concrete to-do list. Now we're going to get even more granular. Look, an action plan is useless if you don't have the daily and weekly habits to actually make it happen. So these are the recurrent behaviors that drive real results over time. Here's what this looks like in the real world. We're talking about specific, measurable actions here, not vague advice. Maybe your goal is to meet one new person a week. Great, track it. Every day you could ping a few existing contacts, not to ask for anything, but just to share something useful. The key is to have a system, even a simple one, like writing down who you met each day, which is something Bill Clinton famously did. This is what turns networking from a random activity into an intentional, powerful habit. And just remember, the goal here is consistency, not intensity. You're a marathon runner, not a sprinter. It's the small, genuine actions that you perform every single day that will compound over time into an unbelievably powerful and supportive network. And finally, let's cover what not to do. Knowing the common traps is just as important as knowing the right steps because it makes sure that all your hard work doesn't just go to waste. Every single one of these is a reputation killer. Seriously, nobody wants to hear from the person who only pops up when they need something. Same goes for the person who only engages in empty small talk. Just being aware that these traps exist is half the battle in avoiding them. This brings us to the single biggest mistake people make. They wait until they're in trouble to start building relationships. As you can see, that's like trying to find a life vest while the ship is already sinking. It's just too late. The time to build your network is always, always now. And that right there is the blueprint. It all comes back to that core principle of generosity. So the question I want to leave you with is a simple one. Forget about who can help you. Ask yourself this: who is the first person you can help this week? That's your first step. If you have a book in mind that should be added to our list, comment below. If this blueprint helped you, subscribe, like, and build with us. More blueprints are coming. Stay intentional, stay consistent. We are doing this one book at a time. And remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So share this with them and grow together. Real progress becomes stronger when it is shared. Build your life one blueprint at a time. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you do.